ते साक्षात्कारणां बोधि मध्ये यस्याकांक्षां श्रीपुमानादिदेवस्तं श्री नित्यानंद रामं प्रपद्ये। यस्यां शां शीलगर्भोदचायि यन्नाभिअब्जं लोकसंघातनालं लोकषष्टु सुतिकधाम धातुस्तं श्री नित्यानंद रामं प्रपद्ये। यस्यां शां परलात्मखिललानां पोष्ट विष्णुर्भाति दुग्धाब्धिशायि शौनी भरता यत्काल सुपेनन्तस्तं श्री नित्यानंद रामं प्रपद्ये। महाविष्णु जगत्कर्ता मायाया सृजतदः तस्यावतार एवायं त्रेताचार्य ईश्वरः। अद्वैतं हरिणाद्वैताद् आचार्यं भक्ति संशनात् भक्तावतारम् ईशं तम् अद्वैताचार्यमाश्रये। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यां नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्भोजो श्रीराधा मदन मोहनौ दिव्य वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः मद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा शीलगोविन्द देवौ प्रेष्ठालिवि सेव्यो मानौ स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी श्रीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुध्वनिर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथाश्रयस्तु नः। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। चैतन्य भागवत मंगलाचरण श्रीला वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय।
आजानुलम्बित भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तने कपितरौ कमलायुधाक्षौ विश्वाम्बरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ नमस्कृताय सत्याय जगन्नाथाच्युताय च स्वभृत्याय रुद्राय सकलाचार्य ते नमः। अवतीर्णौ सकारुण्यं परिच्छिन्नं सतीश्वरौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद
प्रजयति विशुद्ध विक्रम कनकाभ कमलायताक्षणः वरजानु विलम्बि षड्भुज बहुधा भक्तिरसाभिनाटकः। जयति जयति देव
कृष्ण चैतन्य चंद्रो जयति जयति तस्य नित्य पवित्र जयति जयति तस्य विश्वेशमूर्ते जयति जयति नित्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणां।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। The verses from Srimad Bhagavatam.
चित्रपदं हरेर्यशो जगत्पवित्रं प्रगणेन कर्मचित् तद्वार संकीर्तनं
उषञ्जीमानसा न यत्र हंसा निर्मन्त्य शिक्षयाः तद्वाग् विसर्गो
जनतावपुत्रवो यस्मिन् प्रति श्लोकमावृत्य
वत्यपि नामान्यनन्तस्य यशोहितानि यत् शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति साधवः। यस्या वै श्रूयमाणायां कृष्णा परमपुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पद्यते पुंसः शोकमोहभयापः। सूत उवाच आत्मा रामश्च मुनयो निर्ग्रन्था अप्युरुक्रमे कुर्वन्तः च किं भक्तिम् इत्थं भूतगुणो हरिः। कृष्णवर्णं त्विषा कृष्णं साङ्गोपागात्पार्षदम् यद्यज्ञसङ्कीर्तनप्राय यजन्तेषु विमतशः ध्येयं सदा परिभवप्रविष्टदोहं तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरिञ्चिनुतं शरण्यं भृत्यादिकालं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम् त्यक्त्वा सुदुस्तज्य सुरेप्सितराज्यलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठार्यावसंयत्कादरण्यम् मायामृगं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम्। श्री हरि भक्ति शुभोदया। अक्ष्णो फलं द्वादश दर्शनं हि तनो फलं द्वादश गात्र संगः जिह्वा फलं द्वादश कीर्तनं हि सदुर्लभा भागवता हि लोकः। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरिहराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः
यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः। गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन। श्री चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत सीत हरि गुरु वैष्णव भगवत गीता। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। ईशाय गोसाई कोरि चरण वंदन चाहा होती विघ्ननाश अभिष्ट पुराण। ईशाय गोसाई जार मोहि तरगास दास बार पद रेणु मोर पंचग्रास। तादेर चरण सेवी भक्त सनेवास जग में जन्म होए ए अभिलाष। ईशाय गोसाई जबे गुरे गुरवास राधा कृष्ण नित्य लीला कोइलो प्रकाश। आनंदे बोलो हरि भज वृंदावन श्री गुरु वैष्णव पद मजाई अमन। श्री गुरु वैष्णव पद पद्म कोरियास नाम संकीर्तन कोरे महतम दास। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Let us pronounce the all devotees.
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरि बोल।
हरे कृष्णा।
वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यो
हरे कृष्णा।
वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। What? So Prabhuji is going to come 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th to Nagpur to place Nainu Manjari. Okay.
Mataji, today only we were thinking to ask him and just the news came. I think Lord is hearing our prayers.
Right. We will continue with 113 verse of Chaitanya Bhagavat, 9th chapter. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Prabhuji wants to take rest. The Krishna I told Prabhuji, if you take class, will be a nectar. Prabhuji told you take class because he was really tired too much. भक्ति योग ठाके तवे सकल कुशल, भक्ति विना राजा हईले ओ अमंगल. Bhakti is there, everything is kushala. So what is the meaning of kushala that we have already seen? When he has asked Damodar Pandit, how is my mother? Actually kushala refers to how is your devotion going on. If devotion is there, everything is fine. If devotion is not there, then even the position of a king is inauspicious. That is what is told. So Bhagavatam 12th canto 12th verse 55th 12th canto 12th chapter 55th verse speaks. अविस्मृतिः कृष्णपदारविन्दयोः क्षीणोति अभद्राणि च शं तनोति सत्त्वस्य हृद्दिं परमात्मा भक्तिं ज्ञानं च विज्ञानविरागयुक्तम्. So remembrance of Lord's lotus feet destroys everything inauspicious and awards the greatest good fortune. It purifies the heart and bestows devotion for the Supreme Soul, along with knowledge enriched with realization and renunciation. So just by remembering Krishna, everything is destroyed. All inauspiciousness is destroyed. And what it awards? Self-realization. So somebody asked me, Prabhupada, what is self-realization? Work in Krishna consciousness, that is self-realization. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 3rd chapter, 15th verse, it stated, Yes tuttamah shloka gunanuvadah Sangiyate vikshlam amangalagha. Tam eva nityam shrunuyadavikshanam Krishne amalam bhaktim abhisamana. The person who destroys pure devotional service to Krishna should hear the narrations of who desires. The person who desires pure devotional service to Lord Krishna should hear the narrations of Lord Uttama Shloka's glorious qualities. So Krishna is addressed as Uttama Shloka. Whatever words you use for Krishna, it becomes Uttama Shloka, glorifying Krishna. The choicest of the choicest words are used to glorify Krishna. And suppose a person is a mudha, he doesn't know anything, even though he may be a murkha, but if he has desire to glorify Krishna, then those words become Uttama Shloka. The constant chanting of which destroys everything inauspicious. The devotee should engage in such listening in regular daily assemblies and should also continue his hearing throughout the day. Bhagavatam 10th canto 83rd chapter 8th third verse speaks. Lord Krishna's relatives speak as follows. Kuto Shivam Tvacharnam Savam Mahanmanasto Mukhanhisrutam Tvachet पिबन्ति ये कर्णपुटैर् पिबन्ति ये कर्णपुटैरलं प्रभु देहं मृतां देहकृत् अस्मृतिः छिद्दम्. O Master, how can misfortune arise for those who has even once freely drunk the nectar coming from your lotus feet? This intoxicating liquor pours into the drinking cups of their ears, having flowed from the minds of great devotees through their mouths. It destroys the embodied soul's forgetfulness of the creator of their bodily existence. So, this nectar is flowing from the lotus mouth to the great devotees, and this nectar flows in the wonderful ears of the devotees. And then, when such nectar flows in the ears of the devotees, where is the question of misfortune? So that is how Srila Prabhupada says chanting and hearing. This is most important activity. Prahlad Maharaj has glorified Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasam. Shravanam Kirtanam. Navita Bhakti starts with Shravanam and Kirtanam. The more we hear, the more we can remove all the misfortune in our life. There is no misfortune for a person who has eagerness to hear about Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 30th chapter, 31st verse is stated, Eka prapadyate vantam hitvedam swakalevaram kushaletara patheyo bhutadrohena yadvrutam. So Kushalaha, he goes alone to the darkest regions of hell after quitting the present body, and the money he acquired by envying other living entities is the passage money with which he leaves this world. So what happened? Eka prapadyet dhantam. He has just destroyed his opportunity also. Dhantam hitvedam swakalevaram. He has quit this body and he has entered to the darkest region of the hell. What happened? All the fortune he has lost. So when the question is asked, how are you? What should be the answer? Krishna's mercy. This should be the answer. And when you are inquiring also, we should inquire about others' devotion. We have nothing to do with his personal life. And he has also nothing to answer about his personal life. Because when we say, I am fine, there are so many things, then comes behind, oh, I have this ache, that ache, my relatives are not good. That means Kushalaha is only at the level of devotional service. If a person is performing very wonderful devotional service in spite of so many difficulties in his life, that means we can understand that he is transcendental to these three gunas. Sagunan samati tetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. That means how much pure devotional service he is having. In spite of so many difficulties, still is chanting. That is Kushalaha. Even though he may have all the fortunes in his life, all material fortunes, he is unaffected by those material fortunes. He is chanting the holy name of Krishna nicely. So called happiness, so called distress. should not affect our devotional service. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 73rd verse 10th chapter it is stated Raja Ishwarya Mamadonnado na Shriyo Vindate Nrupaha Tvanmaya Mohito Nityah Anityah Manyate Sampado Achalah. Infatuated with his opulence and ruling power, a king loses all self-restraint and cannot obtain his true welfare. So he has so many things, Raja, Aishwarya, everything is there. But Madon Adho, he has lost everything because of his own pride. Na Shreya Vindatehe Nrupaha. In this way, it is not going to give him any welfare. Real Shreyas. Shreyas is what is good for me. We are not interested in praise. What I feel good. If I do everything what I feel good, that is not recommended. What is recommended is Shreya. Tvanmaya mohito anityaha. Thus bewildered by your illusory energy, he imagines his temporary assets to be permanent. Manyatehe sampado achala. So this is anyhow, he thinks that it is permanent. It is not permanent. Whatever material accumulations we are gathering, that is not going to come along with us. What is going to come along with us is the devotional service, is the pure consciousness, what is going to be taken with us. Dhana, yasha, bhogayar, achaye, satla, bhakti, yaranai, tara, saba, amangala. So if one has wealth, fame, and material enjoyment, but is bereft of devotion, then everything is inauspicious. So coveted objects like wealth, fame, material enjoyment make one forget Krishna. As a result, misfortune and inauspiciousness arise. Only devotional service is the reservoir of all inauspiciousness. So whatever we are having, it is only temporary. Whatever material wealth is only temporary. That is why a devotee is very expert. He uses everything in Krishna's service so that he can spiritualize whatever material assets Krishna is given to us. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.5.2, Vidura speaks the following words. Sukhaya karmani karoti loka nataiha sukham vandeyat vanyat paramam va vindeta bhuyastata eva dukkham yadatraha yuktam bhagavan vadennah. O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness. But one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. So everybody is working hard, isn't it? So much of hard work is not giving any satisfaction also, nor it is removing any distress also. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please therefore give us directions on how should one live for real happiness. So material hankering is like a fire. It is never satiated. You desire more, it is like adding ghee to the fire. Bhagavad Gita also speaks to it. The more we try to fulfill our desire, the more we hanker for those material desires. There is a greed which arises. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.7.41, it is stated, Sarve Vedesh cha yagyascha tapo dhanani chanaka jivabhaya pradhanasya na purviram kalamapi. O spotless one, your answers to all these questions will grant immunity from all material miseries. Such charity is greater than all Vedic charities, sacrifices, finances, etc. So the questions which is related to Krishna, that is the real charity for everyone. That is more than even the so-called charity which is done by materialistic people. And also, your answers to these questions will guarantee immunity for all material miseries. So the Goswami, when he heard the questions from Parikshit Maharaj, he says, even if you see Suta Goswami, Shaunakadi, Rishi, Sambad also, the first thing which Suta Goswami did was, he thanked them. He said, your questions itself is so wonderful. And then when the answers are given, that is more wonderful. And in this way, it removes all our material miseries. It is immunity. It's like a vaccine. The more we have spiritual quest and the spiritual answers that becomes an immunity to all the material miseries. In the Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 19th chapter, 14th verse stated, यथैति का मुशिकः कामलं पटः सूतेषु दारेषु धनेषु चिन्तयन् शङ्केत विद्वान् कुक्ले वरात्यतः यस्तस्य यत्नः शम एव केवलं शम एव हि केवलम्. Materialistic people are generally very attached to the present bodily comfort and to the bodily comforts they expect in the future. Therefore, they are always absorbed in the thoughts of their wives, children, and wealth, and are afraid of giving up their bodies, which are full of stool and urine. If a person engaged in Krishna consciousness, however, is also afraid of giving up his body, what is the use of having labored to study the Shastras? What a words just see. If Krishna conscious person also is afraid of leaving the body, then what is the use of studying the Shastras? It was simply a waste of time. So materialistic people, anyhow, they are afraid of leaving the body. They just want their all opulence to be as it is. They love their family, they love their wealth. But if the Krishna conscious person is also doing like this, then dharma sunishtita pumsam vishwakshena katha sujaya na utpadi nidhirati shrama eva hi kevalam. So it is said a person should have eagerness to hear about Krishna. So person engaged in Krishna consciousness after reading the Shastras, after studying the Shastras, reading the Shastras, hearing about Krishna, still he is so attached to his wealth, his so-called opulences, his so-called family, then what is the use of studying the Shastras? It is just a waste of time. It's a very powerful verse. That means after hearing, after reading, there should be transformation, isn't it? It's not just information, no transformation, then what will happen? That is why whatever we are hearing, that has to be put in practice. The more we perform devotional service, then we can understand the knowledge. It is not just the jnana, it should be vijnana. It has to be put in practice. And that practice is taught by the spiritual master. That is why one serves the spiritual master. Yes, deve para bhakti ratha deve katha guru. Tasyaide katitayartam prakashante mahatmana. It is a spiritual master who actually anchors our consciousness in Krishna. If we just try to do devotional service by reading the Shastras alone, I am also chanting, I am also sitting at home and chanting, it's not going to function. One has to come in the association of the devotees, take shelter of the spiritual master. Without spiritual master, everything is just waste of time. Shama eva hi kevalam. That is why Shiksha Pranali, Diksha Pranali has been given the most importance. So we'll come back to our Sankalpa of Stotaratnam given by Shripad Yamunachari. Lakshmీనాథ సమారంభాన్ నాథయామునా మధ్యమాన్ అస్మదాచార్య పర్యంతం వందే గురు పరంపరా యో నిత్యమచ్యుతపదాంబుజే ఉగ్మరుక్మవ్యామోహతస్తదిత్రాణి త్రాయమేనే అస్మత్ గురు భగవతోస్య దేక సింధు రామానుజస్య చరణం శరణం ప్రపద్యే శ్రీమాన్ వెంకటనాథాయ కవితారికికేసరి వేదాంతాచార్యవర్యో మే స్మృదత్తం సదా హృది. So Yamunacharya, the first 3 verses, he has paid obeisances to his guru, Nath Muni. And now in the 4th shloka, he pays obeisances to Parashara Muni, Rishi Parashara. Rishi Parashara is the father of Veda Vyasa. He is the Vyasa in the previous millennium. Let us see. Tatvena yaschit अचित ईश्वर तत्स्वभावः भोगापवर्गतविपायगतिरुदारः सन्दर्शयन् निरमिमित पुराणरत्नम् तस्मै नमो मुनिवराय पराशराय. Tatvena. Tatvena means yathartha rupa. Tattva. That means to understand the subject as it is. Yathartha rupaha. Now, which subject has to be understood? Yachit achid ishvaraha. Three tattvas are there. That is chit tattva, achit tattva, and ishwar tattva. When you say chit tattva, that means which has consciousness. That is jivatma. Jivatma has consciousness. Achit tattva, that is the gross body or the Jada Brahman, has no consciousness. Ishvara tattva, about God consciousness. That is jnana. Understanding this in full. Then comes swabhava, understanding their swabhava. Then a person who doesn't understand this tattva, what he tries to do, bhogaha, he wants to just enjoy this material body, this material world. He doesn't understand how this body is made up of. He considers this body to be everything. But then the Rishi Parashara Muni has taught us apavargaha, kaivalyam evam bhuma muktihi, how to come out of this wrong consciousness. Even if you see, Vedavyasa says, though we are having such wonderful consciousness, but still we are just into this Jada Brahman, we are into this body. We have forgotten our constitutional position. Body is made up of 24 elements. Bhumida, Polaro, Vayu, Kambano, Buddhi, Revacha, in which Krishna speaks about 8 elements and further Krishna speaks about 24 elements. So, even though we are Parashakti of Krishna, Krishna says, this Jivatma is a Parashakti of Krishna. Paropi Manute Anartham. Though we are Parashakti of Krishna, we have forgotten our real constitutional position. Krishna says, Apareyam itaspanyam prakritim vidhi me param. Parashakti jivabhutam mahabhaho yayedam dharyate jagat. The Jivatma has the potency to manipulate the matter. That means Jivatma is superior, isn't it? Now it has stuck itself to these material energies. Bhumira, Ponalo, Vayu, Khammano, Buddhirevacha, Ahankara, iti amme bhinna prakriti ashtaha. So we have stuck ourselves in this aparaha shakti. We are parashakti of Krishna. But because our consciousness is there, considers this aparashakti to be everything. Aparayam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param. It is parashakti that has been declared. But paropi manute anartham, what to do? Though parashakti of Krishna, manute anartham. Just in this anartha, we have lost our constitutional, we have lost our memory about our constitutional position. That is why Puranas have been given. About the Purana, which is the Shrestha Purana, Purana Ratnam, Shri Vishnu Purana. And then how to come out of this wrong consciousness or the false consciousness, false ego. Apavargaha has been mentioned. Previously also we have discussed about apavarga. Pavarga is what? Pa, va, ba, ba, ma. Apavarga means we have to come out of it. Pa means parishram. Pa, fa, fela. After doing so much of parishram, fela, the foam comes out of our mouth. And vibharti, we are just wasting our time, vyarthaha. And in this way, bhaya, there's always a fear. And then, in this way, leading a fearful life, it is actually everyday marana. The person just dies one day. All his hopes are also shattered. So then, what is apavarga? Coming out of all these things and understanding the real meaning of mukti. Mukti hitva anyataha rupam swarupenaha vyavastitaha. Jivera swarupa hoy Krishna nityata. This is our swarupa. So who will teach this? Udara, darshanayada, udara. Udara means this wonderful knowledge has been given in Vishnu Purana. I pay obeisances to Munivaraya Parasharaya. Munivaraya Parasharaya. Who is Munivaraya? Among all the Munis, he is Shrestha. He is the Vyasa. He is the father of Vyasa. So in this way, it is very clearly said. Parashar Muni has given a wonderful shloka where he describes the Shada Aishwarya of Krishna. Aishwaryasya samagrasya veeryasya yashasa Shriya Jnana Vairagayascha Shannam Bhaga Itingana. Even we have a nice, wonderful shloka for Parashar Muni. व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तै पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे सुगतातं तपोनिधिं व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं व्यासमुनि व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तै. So Vashishta's son is Shakti. Shakti's son is Parashara. Parashara's son Vyasa. Vyasa's son is Sukadev Goswami. So Vyasam Vashishta Naptaram. So he becomes the grandson. So this order has come. Like Vashishta's son Shakti, Shakti's son Parashara, Parashara's son Vedavyasa, and then Vedavyasa's son is Sukadev Goswami. So Parashar Muni was given, who is Muni Varaya. That means he is the Shrestha of all the Munis. And he has given us the process of obtaining mukti. So I pay obeisances to Munivaraya, Parasharaya. So he has very clearly taught us about the knowledge about the difference as well as how Krishna is the controller of Chit as well as Achita. He is the controller, he is the master. In this way, Yamunacharya is glorifying Parashara. So remember this verse, Aishwaryasya samagrasya veeryasya yashasa Shriya Jnana Vairagya. Jnana Vairagya. Who will complete this statement? Tell, fatapat. Aishwaryasya samagrasya veeryasya yashasa Shriya
Jnana Vairagyoschaiva Shannam Bhaga Itingana.
Shannam Bhaga Itingana. So put this in the group also and add this in our daily chanting. Parashar Muni has given this verse. Shannam Bhaga Itingana. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, Nayana Manjari has put. Nayana Manjari knows this verse. Naino, do you know this verse? Aishwaryasya samagrasya.
I'll memorize.
Huh?
I'll memorize.
What?
I'll memorize.
Okay, you will memorize tomorrow and you will chant this verse, okay?
ऐश्वर्यस्य समग्रस्य वीर्यस्य यशस्य श्रियः ज्ञानवैराग्यस्य शन्नं भग इति गणा.
Very good. So these are the 6 qualities, wonderful qualities of Krishna in full. Okay. So today we have Deepdan at Ghate Mataji's house, requesting all to come who are all staying in Thane. Please come and attend the Deepdan Mahotsav. And tomorrow, host a wonderful festival that is Bahulashtami, which we will try to celebrate in a very grand way. Today, Radha Kund, Sham Kund is going to be made. And tomorrow, 4 times Parikrama of Radha Kund, Sham Kund will do. And tomorrow's class, not morning class, will be in the evening class, will do about Radha Kund Ashtakam. Okay. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Vaishnavrind ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.